Well, Nvidia, it looks like that you guys are in a quite trouble because AMD made you bleed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, AMD had their Computex Keynote and they talked about some very interesting things. But one particular thing that is the most interesting thing and that can disrupt Nvidia's most talked about feature. Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, I am talking about AMD's Fidelity Effects, which is gonna be directly rivaling Nvidia's DLSS. Now, there are also other stuff that AMD talked in this keynote, but I'm gonna first focus on Fidelity Effects because it is really interesting. So let's talk about that. A few things you need to know about Fidelity Effects. Well, this is a performance improvement tool or technique. Generally, it's gonna computationally upscale your image quality, and the most important thing that you need to know about Fidelity Effects, and that is it has broad support or open GPU program. That means it's not only going to support AMD GPUs but also it can support Nvidia GPUs. Now, with Fidelity Effects, AMD is claiming double the performance. It's gonna have 4 quality settings. That means ultra, high, medium, low. High will have the most picture quality with least amount of performance improvement, and the low gonna have the most amount of performance improvement and the least pleasing picture quality. And with launch, 10 game studios and 10 game engines will support Fidelity Effects. Now here's the thing, I'm not sure that 10 game studio and game engine, by that they are meaning that 10 game engine and game studios going to support this technology or this technique in their various games, or there is going to be 10 games which is going to support this Fidelity Effects tech or methodology or whatever you want to say. And as I said earlier, 100 GPUs and CPUs gonna support this tech. And I know you are kind of questioning yourself, well, I can understand Nvidia GPUs and AMD GPUs, well, what's a CPUs doing here? Well, AMD is talking about their APUs right here. Every single CPU that has Radeon graphics will support Fidelity Effects, and that is really neat. Now let's talk about what kind of performance that AMD is claiming. Well, in Godfall with RX 6800 XT at 4K epic preset plus ray tracing, the RX 6800 XT getting 49 FPS with ultra quality. That means by turning on Fidelity Effects and in ultra quality it's getting 78 FPS. With quality preset it's getting 99 FPS. With balanced preset it's getting 124 FPS, and with performance it's getting 150 FPS. Now from native to performance, it's a long FPS jump and it's a really good improvement, but at the same time the quality also decreased with it. But at the same time you have to understand this is a upscaling technology, so there's gonna be a little bit quality hiccups. Now AMD also showed us a slide with a Nvidia GPU, and it's a 1060 because that is the most popular GPU in Steam's survey, so obviously they're gonna use a 1060. And as you can see in 1440p epic settings, the 1660 in vanilla or without Fidelity Effects is getting lower than 30 FPS, 27 FPS, and with Fidelity Effects turned on it's getting 38 FPS. Although here's the thing, these upscaling technology is gonna be game by game basis. That means developers have to implement this technology or this method in their games. Now AMD said that they are not gonna give any technical support for other brands GPU, that means Nvidia and Intel. Yes, Intel also entered the chat, they also have GPUs now, but at the same time I think because most of the consoles, like every single consoles to be honest except like Nintendo, has AMD GPUs inside them, so I think most of the developers are gonna support this Fidelity Effects because this tech or this method is also coming to all those consoles. And I think while you are doing that for AMD, why not do it for Nvidia? To be honest, I think most of the game which are going to support Fidelity Effects for AMD, they are also going to support Nvidia. So why earlier in the video I said that AMD stabbed Nvidia or they started to bleed? Well, it's pretty simple. If AMD can deliver whatever they are saying here, then they are looking at a far better launch and far better situation than Nvidia when they launch their DLSS. And yes, DLSS 2.0 is little ahead of AMD. There are a lot more games that are available for a DLSS 2.0, but at the same time, this Fidelity FX is a broad GPU technology. That means not only AMD GPUs but also all the AMD APUs and Nvidia GPUs will support this tech. And if AMD can play their cards right, this thing can be an industry standard, and that's a huge plus point for AMD. But let's cross our fingers and hope for the best. If you are from the red team, and if you are from the green team, I think you also should hope for the best, because if we have a industry standard upscaling technology which is good, then that is better for the industry. So everybody cross their fingers. Now, they also talked about so many other things, but I'm going to talk about two more things, and that is their mobile GPUs. So AMD also announced their mobile GPUs, the RX 6800M, the RX 6700M, and the RX 6600M. Now, the interesting thing is that the desktop version of the 6600 isn't out yet, and now you have the mobile version, so I don't know what AMD was thinking. Now, the RX 6800M has 40 CUs with 2.3 GHz of game clock with 12 GB of memory and 96 MB of infinity cache. And as per AMD's benchmark, well, these GPUs are very much competitive with RTX 3080 and 3070. Like in some games, the 3080 is little bit better by 1 frame, and in other games, the RX 6800M is better. Although remember one thing, these are first party benchmarks, so never trust on them. It's just like baseline. It's just a baseline. Never believe on them. Wait for third-party reviews. And also AMD is claiming better battery performance with these new GPUs, and Linus already made a video. I think Linus and Dave 2D uploaded a video about this laptop, the Asus laptop that AMD is launching in their keynote, or launched in their keynote, and it's a pretty good video, like as Linus makes good videos, like there is no doubt, and it has a lot of benchmarks and a lot of information. So if you want to know more about these GPUs, I would definitely suggest you go and check Linus's video and Dave 2D's video. I will link that in the description. Now lastly, let's talk about AMD's new APUs that you can buy. So AMD finally officially launching their new or latest generation APUs for DIY desktop market. Previously it was only available for AIBs, and if you want to get your hands on, you have to do a lot of jump through a lot of loopholes and stuff. But finally they are out, so they are launching two SKUs, a 5700G and a 5600G. All of them are coming at August, and the benchmarks looking good. Like they're gonna be better than Intel's iGPU. And talking about specs, well, the 5700G has 8 core 16 thread with 4.6 GHz of boost clock and 3.8 GHz of base clock, and the 5600G has 6 cores 12 thread with 4.4 and 3.9 GHz of base. Now the 5700G is coming at $359, and the 5600G is coming at $259. And as I said, they are going to be available at August if you can get your hands on to them. Although they are coming at a little bit cheaper cost, but there is still no CPU in the $200 segment. If you want to buy a CPU around that price, you have to either buy older generation AMD CPUs, or the only option is Intel. So I would love to see AMD launching something to complete that price bracket. And if you're thinking why I'm constantly looking at this side, well, I have my laptop here, and there is all the slides that I'm looking at, so I have those here. So yeah, there's it for this one, and I don't have any script, so I think I fumbled a lot and there is a lot of jump cuts, so sorry for that. But if you liked it, hit the like button. If you don't, leave it a dislike. I can totally understand you. And if you want to watch more videos from us, check out this video, this right here. And if you want to subscribe, which I appreciate if you do that, we'll do it by here. And there's Akash. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.